Another day in this extraordinary operation. And another long flight for this New Zealand Air Force crew. I rode with them on their P-3 Orion, an aircraft that dates back to the 1960s, but one of the few capable of searching over great stretches of sea. On board, they operate sophisticated surveillance equipment, capable of detecting and identifying reasonably large pieces of debris. But to have any chance of spotting much smaller stuff, like floating seat cushions, they'll have to rely on their own eyes.
We've been flying for just over 3 hours now, and the plane will shortly descend to just a few hundred feet above the sea. The crew behind me will then move to the windows and start looking out as the aircraft zigzags backwards and forwards across some of the most remote patches of ocean you can find anywhere on this planet.
Captain Brett Mackenzie takes the aircraft down below cloud that sits just above the sea. There's no room for error on these missions. The nearest airfield is 2,500 kilometres back in Perth. And the crew start looking. They'll keep this up for 2.5 hours, swapping places occasionally to rest their eyes. Out here, there are a few ships and almost nothing else on the sea's surface.
It's very tough. You're travelling in an aircraft that's doing 200 miles an hour, and you could be as low as 250, 200 feet above the water, so the world is whistling past you and you're looking for an object in amongst the white caps of the waves. You've got to be concentrating constantly for that whole 2.5 hours. So a couple of moments of inattention, you might miss something that's important.
As they reach the limit of their fuel, they prepare to drop a floating GPS transmitter. This will help the coordinators track the sea currents in this little known part of the ocean, so they can estimate where any debris might have drifted. Then it's time to turn around for the long run back to Western Australia. Other Orions come in before ours. With better visibility recently, they've been able to scan a lot more of the search zone. None has yet seen anything of the missing Malaysian airliner. Jonathan Head, BBC News, Pearce Air Base, West Australia.